gamers, what's up? It's 8-Bit Eric, and today we are going to review Injustice: Gods Among Us for the Wii U. Now, to begin, when I first picked up this game, I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was a fighting game with the DC Universe characters, and I honestly didn't know if it would be my cup of tea, but I was impressed. It took me a while to figure it out. I haven't played fighters in ages. I used to be a Mortal Kombat fan back in the day. Haven't played anything new, really, as far as fighting games go. So when I picked this up, I was going in there blind. And I was impressed. Now, the storyline is a nice effort from the developers. The cutscenes and voice acting in the game are very well done. I was impressed. However, I won't get too much into the plot, out of consideration for spoilers. There is about 4 to 5 hours time of story mode gameplay, which is not too bad for a fighter, I suppose. I think that the developers of this game did a good job coming up with the cinema scenes and all the, the cutscenes between the fights, and it really made the fights feel like they were substance. It just wasn't like a fighter where two guys are going against each other. And the cutscenes in this game have great voice acting, and they add to the plot. It moves the plot forward, it motivates it, and it gives us a reason to keep playing. And I think that is very important when it comes to games, and it's something that you don't see in fighting games very much. Now, each character has moves that are unique to each other. There's heavy, medium, and light attacks, and a nice combo juggling system that complements this game rather well. There's also special ability attacks, which are enabled when the super meter is filled up, which you can also build up to have a devastating super attack that is epic. Some of my favorite super attacks are Superman's, Batman's, and Aquaman's. I mean, look how brutal these are. These are like borderline fatalities. These guys do not mess around. You got sharks, you got punching people into orbit, you got running people over with the Batmobile. Holy guacamole. The fighting scheme is 3 buttons, which is kind of old school in my opinion. A lot of games nowadays have buttons that do everything, like the 6 buttons, format that started with Super Street Fighter Turbo. And I think that the developers did a great job coming up with a combo system that felt like Mortal Kombat. The game's controls just perfect. It takes a while to pick up, but so did classic games such as Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. This game feels just like that. It brought me back to the old days, and the moves are great. Each character feels unique, which is important. Nobody feels like a clone. Nobody feels like, a Ken and Ryu. Nobody feels like a Sub-Zero or Scorpion. Everybody was unique. They had their own powers, their own movesets, their own strengths, their own weaknesses, and you can feel the difference with each character just by the button layout, the combo layout, the unique moves, the superpowers. It was very nice. Now, the fights use a combined round system that is 2 health bars, and the fight happens real time. So there's no interruptions or new round or health resets. There's also a wagering system that deals out damage and can possibly heal your character if you're successful. While it's fun and adds to the heat of the battle, it comes with its consequences, and it kind of adds unnecessary length to some of the matches. The stages are very neat. I like the stage moves where you can kick somebody and they fly across the screen somewhere else. The backgrounds had great visuals. It just felt like a great game. Like you felt like you were really in the DC universe, and I think that is very overlooked upon by most other fighting games. The stages have meaning too. If you don't have any good stages, it's just a plain fighting game. Some cool features in this game are the environmental attacks, which allow some interaction. You're able to do moves that allow you to use the background to your advantage, or to even escape. In addition to the level attacks that I mentioned, which remind me of the old school stage fatalities in the classic Mortal Kombat. the character selection in this game had everybody that you could think of that are popular, and then some. I'm not familiar with the DC universe outside of the main guys such as Batman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, and it was interesting to see some of the other characters. Now I'm a big fan of Aquaman after playing this game. Wonder Woman, of course, we had a tremendous rack in this game. I'm sorry, but I mean, it was ridiculous. Yeah, it was a good character selection. You don't play as all of them in the story mode. You only play as like the 12 most popular heroes, which is kind of a letdown. But you are able to play as everybody in the single match mode or the versus mode, multiplayer online, which online is very good. Aside from the single player story mode, there's also a old school type of fighting game mechanic where it is the battles, where you have towers, tiered opponents, and you just fight your way to the end. Some of them have special stipulations, such as that your character doesn't gain any health between fights, or your character's poisoned and they're slowly losing health during fights. Heroes only, villains only in classic mode, all sorts of different modes to unlock. There's also Star Labs missions where you can gain experience by completing different objectives, and some of these aren't even fighting. Some of these are something as simple as, you know, reaching the end of the level or avoiding an object or doing certain something just to gain the experience. There's a lot of unlockables in the Justice League archives. You can get concept art, you can get music, information on the characters, hero cards, all sorts of features and goodies in here, and the best is yet to come because there's going to be downloadable content on the Wii U version as well. Injustice: Gods Among Us. Similar to Mortal Kombat, just with DC characters. Life is good, it's impressive, I enjoyed it. Overall, I think Injustice is a great game. I'm glad I bought it. It exceeded my expectations. And now I just play it all the time. It's a great fighter, and it could only get better. If there's a sequel, I'm looking forward to it. But for now, guys, I highly recommend that you check Injustice: Gods Among Us. And that's it for now, guys. Thanks a lot. This has been 8-Bit Eric. Stay tuned. I have more coming your way, and peace out.